Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular. Welcome to your mystery reading. The first thing that we're going to do is shuffle out one major arcana from the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot to get the context or the general energy of your reading. If you want to be a part of the community that I'm trying to create, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you're interested, you can also find me on TikTok. I just do more readings over there. The link to that will be in the description if you're interested. And before I get you your first card, remember that this is a general reading on the internet that is at least somewhat likely to be meant to be for more than one person. So if you're struggling to find meaning in a message, that's okay, just let it go because it's probably just for someone else. So the major arcana that I have for you is the High Priestess. I'm definitely feeling here that someone's spirit guides, maybe even ancestors, are, I just saw 111, trying to guide you to follow your inner voice, to trust your intuition, or to even make your inner voice or your intuition much louder through healing. Overthinking might be getting in the way of things becoming clearer for you in terms of the decisions that you make. There could be a specific decision here that the universe and your spirit guides want you to trust yourself on, or this could just be about trusting yourself in general with the decisions that you make in your life, putting you where you're meant to be, not everyone else putting you where they think you're meant to be. I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick. My mouth has been really dry today. So, I don't know, I guess that could also be a sign for someone to drink more water, especially if you're doing a lot of talking. And that could resonate in different ways for people, so I'm going to leave that at that. But yeah, the universe and your spirit guides are really trying to guide you to make your intuition much, much stronger and louder. Healing is definitely a very, very important thing here. Changing your perspective about yourself, about the world, so that way you can change how you feel and ultimately have more control over the decisions in your life. Remember that the decisions that you make are what create your reality. And when I said what you make, it made me think of Hannah Montana or Life is What You Make It, which, you know, I did grow up watching that TV show, but now being into all the spiritual stuff, it's it's very, very true that life definitely is what you make it. I just saw 3, 2, 1. Definitely trust that everything is happening for a reason. I also felt the message to trust that you are definitely seeing this reading for a reason. Maybe the universe / someone's spirit guides are really, really, really trying to guide them to trust themselves and to believe in themselves, especially with like a particular decision. I'm going to look deeper into this with the Prismavisions Tarot. For the first card, we have the Tower with the crown chakra. I'm really loving how the sunlight is coming in through the window. Actually, like it makes the cards look really nice. Like the Prismavisions, it's giving me like a matte vibe, you know, like matte texture. That could be significant for someone in some way, which I just saw 4, 3, 2, so very specific message, someone to definitely trust that everything happens for a reason. I'm not sure if you can hear that in the background. It sounds like a truck, but don't worry about that. There's not really much I can do about it. But I also noticed here that the High Priestess, this tower, is directly in her line of sight. So there could be some sort of tower moment that you feel is coming, some sort of breakdown, something that is going to fall apart, and you're being called to make better decisions so that way you can save yourself from this upheaval. I felt something here about a downfall. Somebody has a downfall here. This could be about you trying to find more comfort outside of your comfort zone. And I'm also feeling maybe someone that you're relying on, they have a certain downfall that holds them back from being able to provide something stable and secure for you, especially when it comes to relationships. I just saw 555, so definitely trust the inner transformation that you are being guided to do, so that way you can transform your outer reality. And your outer reality being transformed, whether it's moving, a new relationship, new job, whatever, is going to, I want to say, protect you in some way from some sort of tower moment. So really, really, really trust your intuition and do what you truly believe that you should do to keep yourself and your potential, for sure, safe. With the crown chakra here, I really, really feel that there's a channel here that you need to open up or keep open for the universe to give you messages and information and guidance. I'm also feeling something here about hints. It feels like through signs and synchronicities, the universe and your spirit guides are really, really trying to guide you to make a very, very important decision that has a lot to do with committing to yourself, so you can have more control over the outcomes in your life. I need more water here. There could be something here about being sick, but it doesn't have to be a physical sickness. It could also be mentally or emotionally. There could be someone here that you're dealing with who is not in a healthy mindset and needs space. I feel like they need to lose something to really appreciate what they had. And that could be you. Definitely, I feel whoever's watching this is being taken for granted and maybe even being taken advantage of, whether it's intentional or not. You're definitely being called to look at things from a higher perspective and to not be afraid to trust what you feel to be true about the situation. Don't be afraid to make choices that you need to make. I definitely feel that someone here needs to be more open to like the darker side of life, less than ideal outcomes. Trust that you will be safe no matter what happens. And you know, when it comes to things like death, like actual physical death, just like any other change or transformation in your life, that's all it is. It's just a transition. Someone here could definitely be being called to change their perspectives and their beliefs about life and death, to see life as something continuous rather than, you know, I want to say like beginnings and endings are almost illusions, just because life is continuous. Your soul, your energy is continuous. Someone here definitely needs to take more seriously the kind of energy that they put out into the world, and especially the energy that they project towards themselves. Definitely stay focused on your healing, so that way some weight that you're carrying doesn't drag you down and put challenging outcomes on your path, I guess you could say. For the next card, we have the 5 of Swords with Venus and Aquarius. I also forgot to say that this card has Mars, and I don't know if the High Priestess has like a zodiac sign or planet. Maybe the moon could be significant, but I just saw 1010. Your spirit guides, especially your ancestors, really want to communicate with you and are really trying to guide you. I just saw 122. Change starts with you. And, you know, that saying that doesn't automatically mean that whenever you change yourself, the person, like someone that you're dealing with who's not in a mentally well mindset. Wow, my mind just went completely blank. But this Five of Swords here, there's definitely a very big, very challenging inner battle going on within you, and this inner battle is making it very difficult for you to trust that you know, I guess, what you're doing or what's best for you. There's fear here that you need to make peace with through either finding comfort outside of your comfort zone or, you know, getting rid of some sort of fear. And I just realized that my camera is acting up. That's cool. I'm just gonna, I don't know. I want to say that I'm just gonna leave it alone, but the cards, how are you supposed to see them? I don't know. Let me see something real quick. Let me see if putting this card here in front of the camera. No, let me pause this real quick and fix this. I hate when it does that, but you know, it is what it is. I can't really do much about it except try to fix it. I don't know if I'll keep fixing this if it keeps acting up, just because like when I do my channeling and stuff like that, it's a huge disruption. So there could be something on my end energetically that's really trying to sabotage my readings, like energetically. So I definitely feel called to ignore it and to not get worked up by it. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I don't, like I said, if it gets too blurry to see the cards, we may just have to deal with it. You know, seeing the cards isn't really super important. You know, the messages are still going to be the messages that you felt called to listen to in this reading. But with the Five of Swords, this Five of Cups just fell on the floor with Mars and Scorpio. So we have Mars here, and this destructive energy. I just saw 122, 123, trust that everything happens for a reason, and that change really does start with you. Even if you can't change the people that you're being called to put space between right now, you know, you can make a difference elsewhere, and it's equally as important or as valuable. But with the Mars energy here, this really confirms some sort of upheaval, some sort of destructive energy in your life. And there goes my camera again. So yeah, we're just going to ignore it. If you can't see the cards, I'm sorry. There's not really anything I can do about it. I just really feel called to just ignore whatever is going on with my camera. But with the Five of Cups, at least you got to see that. There's two fives here. 555. Well, I just saw 222. Could be a very significant number for someone with 222. You're definitely being called to remove things that don't serve you in terms of perspectives, feelings, and maybe even certain passions. Passions that, you know, don't need your main focus or main attention. I guess what I'm trying to say with passions is like things that you're passionate about, but not in a healthy way. Stay focused on transforming yourself internally. That's this message is kind of simple when you look at it that way, because it doesn't seem like you can do much about a destructive energy in your life, but you definitely do have control over your own energy and your own outcomes. So 3, 2, 1, trust that everything happens for a reason. I'm feeling really distracted by this bug that is on my window. I'm not sure what kind of bug it is. I just felt something here about lacewing, Lacewing. I don't know if that's the bug I'm looking at, but I just saw 3, 4, 5. That is definitely coming up for a reason. Maybe you want to look up the spiritual significance or something like that of a lacewing. Let me see if there's anything else I can get out of this before I move on to the next cards. It's interesting because we have the Tower, right? But then we have 2 5 cards, some sort of transformation or change. Like the changes that you're going through right now are really, really important. And the challenges on your path, it's really important that you look at them as a way to learn and grow and empower yourself rather than feel defeated. Definitely stay focused on changing your perspective on challenges. I just saw 4, 4, 4, especially so that way you can create a more stable and secure foundation for yourself. You need to have a more balanced appreciation for life, appreciating both the light and easy things as much as the dark and challenging things. Life is both light and dark. It's not just light and it's not just darkness. And if you believe it's just one or the other, that's definitely a big indicator there that you are not seeing things for what they are and not seeing yourself in the world for what they are. It's really affecting your judgment. To really accept and recognize the both light and dark aspects in life, you first have to accept those aspects within yourself. So if you believe life is only bad and dark and challenging, you're not seeing the light within yourself. Wow, that feels really, really powerful. Light in general could be significant. Light shows. But if you're not seeing, if you think life is all love and light, then you're not seeing the darkness within yourself. You really need to see all aspects of yourself so you can see all aspects of the world, a more balanced perspective. The Temperance card might be significant. And I did notice that my camera has cleared up. It might act up again. I don't know, but I'm going to wrap up this reading with a couple cards from these box of cards that I made. And for your first card, it says, I am terrified of pain and heartbreak. It's hard to accept bad things that happen. So this really confirms to me that I'm talking to someone who does not see the darkness within themselves. They reject that within themselves, and so they reject it in the world. You really need to not be so hard on yourself for being imperfect, for not being okay, for being human. Like whenever I think of darker energy, I think of more of our human side. Remember that you're not just spirit, you're not just soul, you're not just light. You are also human, and darkness, and courage, and aggression, if you will. But yeah, I really feel like whoever's watching this really needs to get more in touch with their more animalistic nature kind of side. You know, like recognizing that you are not separate from nature. You are an animal on this planet just as much as a cow is or a giraffe. I definitely feel you need to find a stronger sense of oneness with the universe. Even the technology that we have I'm also hearing sirens and an airplane. Those could be important signs for someone. And I forgot what I was talking about. Let me think for a second. I really think that it being hard to accept bad things that happen is just a reflection of it being hard to accept the darkness within yourself. You're doing yourself a huge disservice by only paying attention to the lighter, more joyful inner child type of energy. You deserve to be loved wholly and unconditionally. I really feel like someone here has a terrible habit of trying to reach someone else's image of perfection, and you should only be your idea of perfection, but also make sure that it's healthy. Like, I'm saying perfect on a mental, emotional, and spiritual level, nothing to do with your physical body. Let me think for a second. I really feel like a certain message is trying to come through, but I'm having trouble putting my finger on it. Let me think for a second. I think it's only recognizing the light within yourself that's really distorting your judgment. The yin and yang symbol is definitely something I recommend or suggest that you look up. And I also feel called to say that when it comes to feminine and masculine energy, whenever you hear like spiritual people talk about it or tarot readers, it's about, like we all have feminine and masculine energies. We both have light and dark energies. Maybe you're just only noticing the femininity within you. Seeing 1010, your spirit guides really want to help you have a balanced appreciation for life so you can have more control over yourself and your reality and the outcomes in your life. And I saw 122 and 123 again. Trust that everything happens for a reason, and that change really does start with you. Recognizing and accepting the darkness within yourself is really going to encourage others to do the same. And I think that's something that the majority of the collective needs to focus on right now, is accepting that they're not just perfect, that they're not just happiness. And I'm also feeling here that you might need to change what happiness actually means to you. I'm seeing 111. Wow. Especially when it comes to trusting yourself and believing yourself more. I feel like someone definitely has a distorted perspective on what happiness actually is. I mean, there's different kinds of happiness, I guess you could say. But it's really important to recognize that true happiness comes from peace and acceptance, not having things the way that you want them to. Happiness is being able to accept when things are not going your way. So whoever's watching this, definitely change your perspective on happiness so that way you can focus on your mental health and just give yourself what you deserve, especially when it comes to finding closure with something. If you feel super connected to your inner child energy, there's nothing wrong with that. The universe actually wants you to be. But the universe also wants you to have a more mature outlook on life. I feel like someone here definitely didn't get a fair chance to have a balanced appreciation for life. 1 second. With the dog barking, I really feel like the universe is trying to bring your attention to not having a fair chance to see yourself and the world for what they really are. Your childhood is really being highlighted right now. There's something that you really need to let go of and heal from that's definitely going to impact your beliefs about life and death. And when I pause this video to, address the dog, I paused it at 12:22, and that's a message that the universe really wants you to meet halfway through just being yourself and trusting that it's going to pay off, but being yourself in a whole way, in both light and dark, but also keep yourself and those around you safe. I feel like, with this, I am terrified of pain and heartbreak. It's okay to be scared. I mean, nobody wants to experience that. That's valid. You just need to be more accepting that sometimes that's what happens in life. Sometimes we hurt and our heart hurts. And, there's a reason why that's happening. The pain that we experience, it happens for a reason. It's really up to you to discover what that reason really is. And yes, I did notice that my camera is acting up again. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the last card for this reading. I'm assuming I can't show it to you. Nope, I'm just going to read it to you. It says, "Please remember that you and your life are so much more than an outcome. Stay open, stay curious." We're just going to put that there just for the sake of consistency. But this card really made it clear to me that there's some sort of outcome in your life that you want really, really bad. So bad that you're willing to destroy yourself over it, or to destroy yourself if you don't get it. Seeing 222. This attachment is definitely something that you need to remove from your life. If it's a person, it's not really the person that you necessarily have to remove or whatever it is. It's just the attachment itself. You need to be open to not having this outcome in your life so you can show the universe that you are actually ready for more. The universe will not give you more if you're just going to sabotage it whenever, something else doesn't go the way that you want it to. You have to really be willing to work with the universe rather than against it. Don't look at the universe as the enemy because it's trying to create with you. Honestly, the only thing here that feels like your true enemy is yourself. I saw 3, 2, 1. That's definitely happening for a reason, and you really need to take a look at what that reason is, and it really feels like it's attached to childhood. I just saw 333. There's some sort of growth, healing, and releasing that the universe is really trying to guide you towards. Saw 3, 4, 5. That's happening for a reason, so that way your intuition and your inner voice can become much, much louder. Remember that the goal here is, like when it comes to spirituality, is to gain wisdom and awareness and to, spread consciousness or whatever. It's not an outcome. Not only do you need to change your perspective on happiness, you also need to change your perspective on faith. Trust that everything is happening as it's meant to, that everything is as it's meant to be, and you're just being called to work with what you have. That's what I'm really feeling. I just saw 432, so yeah, definitely trust that everything happens for a reason and search for deeper meaning in the things that you can't control. And I think that this will really help you find some sense of purpose or direction or belonging. The stay open and the stay curious. This is kind of like what I was talking about with the universe wanting you to stay connected with your inner child, but to also have a mature perspective on life. Stay open, as in stay open to all kinds of outcomes, to both the light and easy outcomes in life and the dark and challenging outcomes in life. But with the stay curious, stay connected to your inner child, to that sense of adventure. We never lose our need for adventure. You really, really need to, there's something here about that really holds you back from being able to receive more from the universe. And I really think it has a lot to do with you not being open to challenges and the darkness and stuff like that. But that will be the end of your reading. I hope that it was helpful or relevant in some way. If you liked it, hit the like button to show me that. That's the best way to support me. And if you'd like to offer even more support, you can donate through the thanks button directly below the video. Absolutely not obligated, but always very much appreciated. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any. I'd really love to connect with you more. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you around.